Good morning, everyone. My name is Dale Andrejade El Abalde. Today, I'll be reporting to you about what fake news is and a type of it. Now, my presentation is about fake news, specifically the types of fake news. The three types: disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. I'll be defining each one, showing original sample cases, and analyzing their anatomy using MIL verification techniques. Okay, so for my three objectives today: first, to define and distinguish the three types; second, to identify and analyze the original samples using tools like SIF and lateral reading; and third, to dissect each sample, looking at source, intent, accuracy, and potential harm. Now, let's move on to the three types of fake news. The three types of fake news. But because before diving into each one, here's the key distinction. All three involve harmful information, but what separates them is the combination of two questions. Is the content true? And was their intent to harm? Disinformation is false and intentional. Misinformation is false but unintentional. Malinformation is actually true but used as a weapon. Now, let's start with disinformation. Disinformation is the most deliberate of the three. The person creating it knows it's false. They made it that they made it that way on purpose. It's designed to manipulate, whether that's public opinion, elections, or health behavior. The defining factor is intent to deceive. My source here is Wardle and Darshan's 2017 framework from the Council of Europe, which is the standard academic model for classifying information disorder. Now, let's look at my sample. My sample is a fabricated health headline. Quote open, DOH confirms drinking lukewarm water with calamansi cures COVID-19. Avoid vaccines. Close quote. This came from a fake website mimicking the DOH branding. The domain was dohphofficial.net, not the legitimate doh.gov.ph. I verified this through lateral reading, cross-checking DOH's official site and WHO advisories, World Health Organizations, neither of which contain anything like this claim. A reverse DNS lookup also shows the site was only registered in 2021, during the height of the vaccine rollout. This intent is clearly anti-vaccine disinformation. It's not just wrong, it was designed to discourage vaccination. Right, with this information and my sample analysis on that done, let's move on to the next kind of fake news. Misinformation. Misinformation is different because there's no malicious creator behind it, at least not at the point of spreading. The person is that the person sharing is genuinely believing that it's true. This is important because it means the harm is accidental, but it's still real. It tends to spread through ordinary social media users who cares and want to help, which ironically makes it harder to stop. Now, let's move on to my sample. My sample is a viral post claiming lemon juice and baking soda raises blood oxygen levels. Quote open. Doctors don't want you to know this. Quote close. There's no credited creator, no linked study, and the wellness page has no medical credentials. I applied the SIF method, stop before sharing, investigate the source, find better coverage to WebMD and Vera files, and trace the original claim, which leads to nowhere credible. Blood oxygen is regulated by your respiratory and circulatory system, not by what you drink. This sharer probably meant well, but the post could cause people to skip medical care. Now that we've done misinformation, let's move on to the next kind of fake news. Malinformation. Malinformation is the trickiest type because the content is real. You can fact you can't fact check you can't fact check it. It's true. What makes it dangerous is the intent and the context. It takes real information, a private conversation, someone's personal history, a leaked document, and weaponizes it. The truth becomes the harm. Now, let's look at my sample. My sample is a case where private chat screenshots of a student activist were leaked and mass shared to discredit them. The screenshots are real, the conversations happened, but they were taken completely out of their private context and reframed as evidence of wrongdoings without the subject's consent. The goal was to destroy their reputation and silence them. This is a potential violation of RA 173, the Data Privacy Act of the Philippines. The technique I use here is contextual analysis, not fact-checking because the facts are real, but examining the framing, the intent, and the absence of consent. Now that we've seen them all, the three types of fake news, let's compare the three of them. Now, to summarize, disinformation is false, intentional. Misinformation is false, but unintentional. Malinformation uses true information, but is weaponized. The key insight from Bardo's framework is that these three don't differ in format. They can all look like a social media post or a news article. What separates them is the relationship between truth, intent, and harm. To close, the best tool against fake news isn't just knowing these definitions. It's developing the habit of pausing before you share, checking the source, and asking who made this and why. Thank you for your time, and I hope that this report and presentation taught you something well about fake news. The next time you might see a wild claim about something, make sure to check the source and stop before you start sharing it. I am Dale Andrew J. Elavalde from Grade 11 Discipline, and this was my Fake News PIT. Thank you.